We're joined now, a special guest, by Marie Domin, who is the Bulldogs' new cross-country head coach. And look, fall sports, we are knee-deep in it, and that includes you. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
That was your cue to go ahead and weigh in. No,
yes, it does.
No, it's great to have you here. I just would love to get your thoughts on the opportunity and, just some thoughts in general on Citadel Athletics. It's a very special department. I'm happy to be a part of it myself. I'm a year in.
I'm very excited. I was hired just 2 weeks prior to the start of our season, so I was really nervous, just excited but nervous, not knowing the regiment and how everything actually works, because until you live a day in the life of these cadet student athletes, you actually have no idea.
Well, and the sport aside, and I know, Coach, the sport is one thing, but you're also jumping levels. You had worked a lot at the high school level, but now you're going to move up a level, and you're basically going to work with a little bit more mature, a little bit more developed athlete too.
I was excited to jump in there and have people who were hungry for it. Some people maybe needed a little pep talk. I definitely like to bring the energy for these cadets. They go through a lot on a daily basis, and I the first words out of my mouth to them was how much I admire them and how my expectations aren't necessarily going to change, but I'm going to pivot and move and feel out what they're going through in order to get the best out of them at that workout or whatever it is we're doing.
One of the things that's unique, and it's an easy thing, one of the things that's unique, I think, about the Citadel is your typical cadet student athlete isn't really wired necessarily a lot like a typical student athlete somewhere else. There's a level of commitment, there's a level of a lot more than just your athletic pursuits that are at stake when you come to the Citadel, and it takes a unique individual to not only take that on, but to thrive and succeed in it too.
Absolutely. Cross country, I'm assuming most people know how it works, but maybe not everybody, because it actually isn't in the Olympics, although I do think they're going to bring it to LA, hopefully. But it's a lot of grind. It's asking a lot of your body, just demanding in the moment. There's no pauses, breaks, anything. And so they do that on a daily basis as a cadet, and then now I'm asking them to do that on top of this.
That's right.
And so sometimes it seems like practice is actually a reward, which is cool, because we get to go off campus sometimes, we go to the beach, we're going to the mountains, but yeah, it's definitely been a challenge, but fun at the same time.
I would love to know just how, so if you had to quantify how much it's changed from when you were a college athlete to what now the kids in your program are like. Give us some thoughts on that.
Oh, they are so fancy now. Not Citadel cadets per se, but in general, I would say cross country and track and field, what they have access to, the shoes, the gear, the fuel, the science, and just the knowledge that is at our fingertips compared to back in the day. We just ran hard and hope for the best. Cross the finish line first. That's the goal, right? So, I think now we have so much more to cater to athletes who are maybe on the cusp of being great. Yes. We can kind of push them to that because of our knowledge and what we have, and then as cadets, they are held to a higher standard already. So cross country kind of fits that, that kind of mindset, that drive. It definitely matches well with the cadets.
It probably makes the news most in the sport of baseball, but in reality, analytics and data-driven analytical stuff is a big part now of how players are developed, in a lot of cases recruited, and coached. I'd love to know how that extends to how much of what you do as a cross-country coach is somewhat analytics-driven.
How much time you have to nerd out. No, I actually love to study and read, and that's what's actually been beneficial at coaching at both the high school level, but also attending camps, clinics with Division I schools like NC State, App State. They helped me be a better coach because I'm able to sit there and pick their brains, add to my spreadsheet, this is the exact time that you want to be hitting. And yes, you can have all that data, but at the end of the day, it's the kid, it's the individual, and how they respond to that stimuli, because it's not going to be the same as everybody else.
Right.
So I really am enjoying getting to know each individual and taking that data, whether it be from a workout, whether it be from their history, their injury prone, their genetic makeup, all those things go into, okay, what's my workout plan for this person for this week? Okay. And luckily I do have a small enough group of kids that I can cater very individually to them.
Since you're new here, I'd like to get your thoughts on, I guess, what your expectations are for the coming year, and also just, I guess, an overview of the roster that you kind of take on as you arrive here, too.
Like, what do you... Maybe elaborate on that a little bit.
Just some thoughts on what you inherit roster-wise, what team members you have that you're excited about, this and that. And then just some thoughts on what your expectations first year are.
Yeah, it's hard because I want, of course I have like so many great things that I'm hoping to make happen, just like lickety-split.
Right.
But, I pump the brakes, calm down, get to know everybody, get to know everything. And I definitely enjoyed like wanting to make these seniors like go out with a bang, because some of them were riddled with injury. Some of them, had setbacks in their life that, they shared with me, and this is it. They're getting their rings next weekend. And so I definitely wanted them to just go out feeling like, oh my gosh, I got a really great experience, and I was able to have that growth mindset, even though it's my last year. And then on the flip side, I have the Knobs, who we had a pretty good recruiting class thanks to Coach Cutt. I really appreciate Coach Aaron, who was the previous coach, as well as Coach Cutt and Coach Huddleston, just helping me, kind of guide me through this recruiting class that we got. And they're all just awesome, driven kids, but they're real tired, and they sometimes need a break. And so I'm hoping to see progress, right? Take those numbers and just every week, if it's not adding up and the numbers aren't adding up, well, then we got to revisit back to the drawing board and make sure like I'm catering those workouts correctly for their growth.
What are your thoughts on the SoCon? I mean, in every other sport, the SoCon's got some really talented athletes. I mean, up and down. Doesn't matter which sport it is.
Yeah. For us, it's Furman for cross country. Not in every sport, but for Furman, they sweep it every year. I want to say this is their 16th straight title in cross country.
Wow.
And they are just really, really heavy in the distance area. So because of that, it makes it really challenging. But we're going to climb that ladder.
That's right.
I'm just one at a time. We've never had an NCAA qualifier because you can qualify as an individual or as a team. But we've never had that. And then, of course, it's always fun to break a school record, start small. Everybody can get their own personal best. So luckily we have that at the end of the day, that you can always chase that and just kind of slowly but surely climb that ladder.
It seems to me like, and Coach, you can weigh on, it seems to me like Charleston would have a lot of really good advantages in terms of what it's like here to recruit kids to want to come to school to some degree. I mean, from a terrain and climate and all that, it's a little bit like spring break year round here. For one, although at the Citadel it's going to be anything but. But I just wonder, how much that may play into favor when you recruit athletes. How much do you use Charleston, and what a unique area with all the cool history and everything here. How much does that play into and help you recruit?
Yeah, so I moved here in 2006, and I was at Stall High School for a year. I was at Wando, Oceanside, and Lucy Beckham. So I've had the gamut. But because of that, I'm a cross-country coach, like mindset. I'm like, okay, where's the hill in North Charleston? Where's the hill on Sullivan's Island? Where's the right grassy terrain? So because of that, I've gotten really creative. And I tell the kids, I'm going to be fueling. I'm making smoothies in the track hallway. I'm going to be taking you to the beach, Citadel Beach House. Obviously, we sometimes get to go there. We're going to Sullivan's. There's a secret hill and people don't know about. And, just stuff like that where I can hopefully make it like a really fun, spring break kind of experience, but let's be real, that's not the Citadel. And so to be that reprieve for them, to be that sort of like energetic timeout per se from that life, that's maybe cross country, right? We get out in the woods, we get out and kind of get your mindset right for the week.
Right. Well, it's great to have you up here. Obviously, we're excited for the season you're going to have. We'll keep an eye on what's going on, too.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
That is Marie Domin, the cross-country coach here at the Citadel.
Thank you so
Hanging
much.
out with Coach and I. We're just talking a little cross-country and talking a little bit of Citadel athletics. We will turn our attention to the upcoming game over Parents Weekend. By the way, Coach, we have two pairs, not one, but two pairs of tickets for this game Saturday to give away.
All right.
We must, over the 4-minute commercial break, devise a method by which we're going to give these away.
Let's figure it out.
All right. All right, we're going to do that in just a moment. Thanks again, Marie.
Thank you.
And we are back with more of Beyond the Barracks live at Over the Horizon Brewing right after this on the Citadel Bulldogs Radio Network.